Hi, my name is Dr. Peter Daly, and in 2003, my wife Lulu and I visited a Honduran orphanage, and our lives were changed forever. At the orphanage, we met a young girl, Angela, who could not walk, and so we brought her back to live with us in the United States to ensure access to the medical care she needed. 6 years after that trip to the orphanage in 2009, I, along with my colleagues at Summit Orthopedics, started the Holy Family Surgery Center. And in 2017, Holy Family Surgery Center merged with Surgical Care Affiliates to create One World Surgery, a nonprofit that provides care to the underserved regardless of their ability to pay.
Welcome to the 2026 Summit Service Award presentation. Each year, YHH and Summits chooses 2 players to travel to Honduras to take part in the One World Surgery program with other Minnesota students. Last year, Cora Bukovic from Eden Prairie High School was awarded the scholarship. Cora is a freshman this year and skated for St. Olaf College. Let's meet this year's finalists. Ava Stokes, Chisago Lakes. Delaney Miller, Minnetonka. Catherine Nelson, Century High School in Rochester. Savannah Blahoyak, Southwest Christian, and Taryn Richter from Holy Family. This year's winner from Minnetonka High School is Delaney Miller. All right, Laney, congratulations on winning this award. What a fantastic honor. There were a lot of good contestants. First of all, before we talk a little bit about your future in medicine and some more things about you, let's talk a little bit about your heart for service. You know, how do you go out there, you serve people, you want to be involved in the medical profession in some way, shape, or form. You're already doing a little bit at school. Where did that come from, and how do you think that started?
Yeah, I am just so grateful for all the opportunities that I have had in my life, and I recognize that it's very important for other people to have similar opportunities as well. And I just think that if I can do whatever I can to help ensure that other people have opportunities, that's just really important.
Okay, good deal. This is like a test, isn't it? This is answering
Kinda.
questions. You got the questions beforehand, so you can see if you can knock these out. All right. But we'll talk a little hockey as well. Because I've known you as a hockey player, and we'll get to a little bit of hockey later. But one of the things I noticed in your application was that you have a curriculum at Minnetonka High School devoted to, and you talked a little bit before, like some are business, some are. A lot of different arts, a lot of different things. Talk about the one that you chose at Minnetonka and what's a daily thing you do at school that I think is be different than your normal high school student.
Yeah, so at Minnetonka High School, we have a curriculum called Vantage, and it's kind of just like a mixture of school and the professional world. I'm personally in the health sciences program, so I get to do
cool.
Classes I'm in psychology, human anatomy, and I'm also in this EMR class, so I get to do that kind of stuff every day. There's a bunch of different opportunities. We've gone to the U of M on site visits. We have speakers come in from different health professions and talk to us. And it's just a really interesting and good program that
One
I
of the things
recommend.
you told me was there's an emergency medical, like EMT type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're going through some of those scenarios, and maybe even at the end of this year or next year, you could actually become an EMT as a result of being at your school. Is that true?
Yeah,
That's
I
hard.
think, yeah.
That's really hard. What are some of the things? What are one of the scenarios that you've gone through in that process?
There's kind of 2 different categories that we've worked on. There's trauma assessment, where say you show up at a car crash, what to do, the steps to take, and then there's also more medical things, if you're having an allergic reaction, how to help, or those kind of things.
Oh, that's way more than I could do. You're already way ahead of me here. And you're 17, 16 years old?
16, yeah.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, let's talk a little puck. Tonka hasn't made the state the last 2 years. You're going to have a really good team next year. Mm-hmm. Tell me about, your line mates. I watched you 3 or 4 times this season. One of the things that I noticed, obviously, is your quickness. But, man, your power play. I saw you play Dinah twice. It was just on fire.
Yeah.
What's so good about you and your group that you were on the power play this year?
I mean, we're all just such hard workers and scrappy. We kind of ran a different power play this year and just kind of...
A lot of behind the net stuff.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I was kind of behind the net. It was different, but it worked pretty well. And we just kind of made sure to feed into everybody's strengths. We have this one player that's really good in front of the net, so we put her there and then
You're the
Yeah.
speed demon. You're the speed demon. All right. Let's walk through your decision to go to Dartmouth. I think you mentioned to me, you might have wink that you might want to go to medical school someday.
Yeah. I think so.
What drove that decision, either the Dartmouth or the medical school? Either one. They're both interesting questions to me. If you want to do both, let's knock them both out, okay?
Yeah, I chose Dartmouth because I've always really prioritized my hockey and my education. And going to a place like Dartmouth, which is such a good school, I could really kind of get the best of both worlds, get a really good education to set me up for the future and play the sport that I love at the same time.
And what a great coach. Mora's a
definitely.
fantastic coach. They got a great coaching staff. How influential was it to play for Mora, who's had such great experience at many different schools at the college level?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited. When I've talked to her, it's just I've always had such positive experiences with her, and I'm just really excited for what's to come.
That's really good. Okay. All right. I'm sure, getting an award like this, being recognized here, you probably got a few people to thank. Why don't you knock that portion out for us, Delaney?
Yeah, I would first like to thank Youth Hockey Hub and Summit Orthopedics for this opportunity. I'm so incredibly excited, and it's kind of like a dream come true. I would also like to thank my family, my parents, my brothers, and my grandparents for always being so supportive and believing in me. They've kind of made me the person that I am today. And then I'd like to thank my teachers and my coaches. They've given me so many opportunities and taught me so many things, and yeah.
That's fantastic. One last thing. This is a curveball question for you. And I didn't come up with it because I was watching Alec from Summit discuss all the details today. This is the first time I've gotten all of the details of the trip. What stood out for you, what Alec was talking about, what you're going to look forward to on this trip to Honduras?
He was talking about that you have the option to scrub in, and I think that's something that I've always wanted to do, and I think it'd be a really eye-opening and kind of life-changing experience. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to hearing about it. So
Yeah.
when you get back from Honduras, we'll have a quick chat, and I'd like to hear about your experience. But until then, good luck the rest of the academic year and have fun in Honduras.
Thank you so much.
Delaney Miller from Minnetonka High School.